donaciones de otras investigaciones. Si hay otro problema con los cargos, con computadores, él no está pidiendo donaciones porque él tiene millones de nuestros dólares para hacer su trabajo. Nosotros estamos aquí para saber qué está pasando porque él tiene este cambio de un policy por este trabajo. Raquel, you want to add anything on the Spanish side?
Sí, gracias.
¿Quieres decir algo?
Pues pasar para allá. ¿Cómo tú me dices?
Si el sheriff ya utilizó el dinero de los contribuyentes para hacer esta investigación y ahora se quiere cubrir con una donación privada, que si acaso se aprobara, eso ni siquiera cubre lo que ya se gastó para esta investigación. Y necesitamos que haya responsabilidad en las oficinas del sheriff del condado de Maricopa. Su responsabilidad es proteger nuestras comunidades, y por eso venimos ahora. Si la gente le tiene que exigir qué hacer, nosotros estamos exigiendo que investigue a Russell Pierce, que investigue los crímenes de violaciones que no han sido investigados, y queremos que él tome responsabilidad de sus acciones.
O sea, estos $10,000, ¿cuál es el reclamo de estos $10,000?
Él utilizó $10,000 de los contribuyentes de Maricopa para mandar una persona a Hawái que investigara la ciudadanía del presidente Obama, usando dinero del contribuyente. Hoy quiere decir, se está haciendo para atrás y está diciendo que no va a querer usar dinero de los contribuyentes, que quiere una donación privada para hacer esta investigación. Lo que nosotros decimos, él tiene una responsabilidad de investigar los crímenes en el condado de Maricopa y no nada más lo que él quiera investigar. Nosotros estamos exigiendo que investigue cosas que nos van a proveer seguridad para nuestra comunidad.
Excelente, gracias.
It's interesting too, just to recap the investigation, we keep bits and pieces. Someone said, oh, this guy was doing security, or they were fearful, different things. Just so people know, Hawaii is not another country. No. Hawaii is part of the United States of America. And they also have a police force, so I'm sure they have relationships. If you call them and say, oh, can you pick us up at the airports, they'll take care of it. So I don't know what fear, who's out there trying to get a sheriff's department or something. So they sent someone over there to provide security in another state in our country, and who actually worked overtime providing security. So we have someone coming out. Oh no, close the door, run over. All right, yeah, there we go again. All right.
Who was he?
Someone, I don't know.
It was to protect the posse guy.
It's to protect the posse guy. In our country though, everyone's free to do those investigations. Usually, when it comes to birth certificate, you can do that over the phone, or via fax, or via email. But this was a 9-day trip. Now we're getting more and more details, a 9-day trip. So I don't know why Sheriff Arpaio, he's so proud of this investigation. I don't know why he's not out here coming out on this thing.
I've known many people who've gone to Hawaii without security.
Oh, yes. That's pretty right.
And come back safely.
Come back safely. That's a good point.
And spend a lot less money.
Spend a lot less money. I don't know what you're doing overtime in Hawaii.
There must be some nice luau's, $1,100 a day.
No, that's total. It's total for 9 days. Like $100 a day. Per diem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The kicker though is the overtime. $3,500 in overtime.
It's nice in Hawaii, Randy.
Yeah. So this is kind of.
Well, maybe we can rent a sheriff after all.
We're gonna try.
There you go. Yes, I'm going to see if I can rent a sheriff.
Yeah.
If we can rent him to do the investigation.
We just have questions. We just can't figure out why he's got different policies for different things.
Yeah.
And especially what even concerns us more deeply, you all know this, that when it comes to political investigations, those should be paid by public dollars. So it's not showing we're discriminating or not showing that we're getting favoritism, right? If we're doing a political investigation, that damn well better be paid by our dollars.
Corruption.
Corruption, yeah, anything, like whatever it is, right? I mean, it should be paid by us. So there's some accountability, not allow people to come in and buy it. So what we know for sure is what we know on the record is over 200 Tea Party people signed a petition, initiated the investigation, and now it's going to be paid for. He's trying to get it paid by private donations. That's not the policy we want from Maricopa. All right, so here we go again. Just so we know for a fact, Chief Deputy Jerry Sheridan's here. We know for a fact Chief Deputy David Tromby's here. We know for a fact Chief Deputy McIntyre's here. Why they can't come out, I don't know. We don't know for a fact that Sheriff Arpaio's here, but surely he has someone to speak for him to be here.
It's interesting that Kanasik said he doesn't want to direct the sheriff as to who he should or whom he should investigate, but it's okay for a random group.
Yeah, the Tea Party though, Tea Party do it.
He wants to leave it up to the
No,
Tea
no,
Party.
what he said, he goes, politicians should make the decision. Wasn't Sheriff Arpaio elected? Isn't he a politician? So it's just, Andy Kanasik has I mean, he barely meets the threshold for being qualified at what he's doing, so we're just barely there. But we gotta look forward to really getting some clarity from the sheriff.
Randy, you know what I'm curious about? We were talking about item 22 on the agenda yesterday being the donation from the technology posse. I'm kind of curious about item 23, which is a miscellaneous donation that wasn't specified in print.
Right.
But over the intercom, they said it was from the Tea Party. I wonder if they accepted that one.
It's really interesting because until we started asking questions on 22, I mean, there's questions Chairman Wilson didn't even know. Paul Castaneda was asking questions. He didn't know about the money. And finally, Sandy Wilson's now going to produce it. But we're like, this may not be the number. It may be over
Right,
10,000.
Right.
So this whole sense of lack of transparency, right? If you're so proud of this investigation, show us the numbers.
I'm just frightened by the way they're able to buy the Board of Supervisors with these anonymous donations for what?
Yeah.
For what?
It's buying the
Fill
sheriff's
holes
office.
in the budget.
Right, yeah.
It's just like you said.
Last time I checked, just so you all know, over 50%, hear me out, over 50% of our $2-point-something billion budget goes to which department?
Maricopa County Sheriff's Office.
Yep, so if he wants to have an investigation, he's got plenty of money to do it. He's not to get them donations. He's not a poor 501c3 nonprofit organization trying to run it.
That means 50 cents out of every dollar that I give to the county.
More than 50
More
cents.
than 50 cents of every dollar I give to the county goes to this office.
Absolutely.
And what's with the 92 million, 0.7 million, whatever it is, for new offices, when his lease runs out here?
I think that's a whole new.
$720 a square foot.
I don't know, but I mean,
serious?
We have to lease
Yeah.
these offices because we sell all of our state
$720 a square foot.
Randy, would you mind if I asked you a few questions? You
Sure,
can
go
catch me
ahead.
up?
Yes.
Why don't you start from the beginning? Tell me why
More
you're here.
expensive.
We're here because yesterday we're at the Board of Supervisors meeting, and that they had a historic vote 2-2 where they didn't just pass through some donations to offset the cost of this, Hawaii venture, which is now posting $10,000. We also found out during that exchange, we don't even have all the figures. It could be even more money than that. And so what we're really concerned about as taxpayers, that to have political investigations like figuring out whether Obama's birth certificate is valid or not, to be funded by private donations, you're basically contracting out that work. You're privatizing an agency that should be for public service. And so if anything, any political investigation should be funded by the taxpayers. He has the largest budget. So we're here to kind of say, why is that taking place? That new policy, and we also bring a check for $10,000 from our organization and say, we have some investigations that we want done too. We want the investigation of Russell Pierce and the Fiesta Bowl scandal. So there's things we're doing. We want the investigation of the felony acts committed against the members and contributors to the Sheriff's Command Association. And finally, we want an investigation. Loretta Barkell, who's the chief financial officer for over a decade, she said criminal acts were committed and that whole misspending of $100 million. So we'd like to see if that $10,000 can be put to those investigations, if that's what he's said about pay-to-play operation, rent a sheriff. Our sense, though, we also want him to stand by his investment. If he believes it's a wise use of our money to go out and send someone to Hawaii, then stand by that. Don't go try and backdoor it with private donations. So we're trying to figure out where he's at on this. And who do we make the check out to if we want our own investigation done?
To your knowledge, is it against state law to use privatized funds for a police investigation like this?
To my knowledge, I don't know, to my knowledge. It could be. It really is a scary thing when political investigations are being paid for by private donors. And it's a very low threshold. 200 Tea Party members, this is the facts that we know, over 200 Tea Party members signed a petition asking for this birth investigation of President Obama's birth certificate, which then he triggered. He then went on camera on March 1st and lied and said, oh, no tax dollars will be used for this. And as he's saying that, he's using our tax dollars to send a deputy to Hawaii, and now he's trying to get that money filled in the backhand, on the backside. So there's some really funky stuff going on right now. We just want to get clarity. So hopefully he'll be able to provide that to us today.
What about the people, though? I mean, it's their money and they can donate it to whatever causes that they want to. If this happens to be their cause, what's the issue?
My ask you this, then is it open to everybody? Can the Democratic Party go in there, give 200 signatures, say we want this person investigated? We want Tom Horn investigated. Sheriff Powell, will you do that? It's a slippery slope. We don't want to go to that. We don't want to privatize the sheriff's office. You don't want to have investigation by petition. Or investigation about who's got the kind of money to pay for that.
So you're concerned about potentially commingling of funds and that could set a bad precedent? Is that?
But not only that, we're talking about the integrity of law enforcement being bought. We're talking about political witch hunts being funded by private donors using a public agency? Go hire your own private investigators.
Yes.
You're not going to hire the sheriff to do your work, PT Party. That's what this is about. Surely you can use, we can go hire a private investigator, right, to anything we want to do. But the sheriff's office is up for sale, right? So that's what we're concerned. This is about, reclaiming our sheriff's department to be, doing what it. He's not out there seeking donations for the uninvestigated sex crimes. He's not seeking donations for sheriff patrol cars who need new computers. He's not seeking the board to give donations to help fund investigation of homicides.
In your opinion, should the sheriff just not have received the funds in the first place, just turn them away?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
This is
if he's doing that, doing private investigations, he's not doing our business.
That's right.
He's not taking care of us.
Right.
There's no accountability in the budget when there's donations coming in the back door like that.
Absolutely.
We want to know
Yeah,
what
this
he's
is the-
spending money on.
This is
I hear
so-
exactly what you guys are saying. What about those people who want this investigated, which is why he spearheaded this in the
The
first
sheriff
place?
Arpaio should pay for it on public dollars.
And demonstrate that
Have
it,
transparency and
that-
stand by that. That's what he should do.
and
Are
demonstrate
you
that
saying
it
that
has.
there's a lack of transparency in the
Absolutely,
in the
absolutely.
ledger?
We found that out yesterday because when one of our members was asking questions, Chairman Wilson didn't even know. Because I don't know, we had to bring in Chief Deputy Tromby to explain it, and then Sandy Wilson, the Deputy Manager for the Budget, had to come up and explain, we'll get you those papers next month. So there's no transparency here. They just want to get this thing, it sounds so good, donations from the public to pay for this. That's not what this is.
What specifically on the line-by-line ledger do you think that, where there's a discrepancy?
Well, we just found out, give me the blue, we just started getting this numbers, one of the news outlets started covering this, we didn't even know this number. 3,500 for overtime, all these types of things. This is tax dollars already been spent. He wants to get that reimbursed, and what's even interesting is that the donation didn't even cover this. It was less than that. It was for $5,000. You're talking about a sheriff sitting on $3 to $6 million. Why isn't he just paying off his political fund then? I mean, this is how shameful this is. This is politics at its worst. And so he should be proud. If he's proud of it, come on and be proud of it.
As the elected sheriff, though, as you know, he has the decision to be able to utilize those taxpayers' dollars at his discretion.
That's right. And we have, as a right, we can say when we don't agree. But he's he's using a public county credit card that we gave him to go fund this birther investigation, and then go on the back, and then we have to hold that money there, and then go back and say, can you help me pay for this? Why is that? Why?
What's it got to do
Yeah.
with safety
Exactly.
in Maricopa County?
It's beyond our
He wants to
jurisdiction.
Maricopa
So you're right. We can hold him accountable. He can do whatever he likes up to a point. But at the same time, this is about basic math. This is about basic following procedures and policies. So we'll see where this thing goes.
So what's your ultimate goal here today?
To get clarity. We really want to get some clarity. Is he going to continue to use our public dollars on this investigation? If so, say that. We want him to shut down his privatization thing or allow others to come in. What's the buy-in?
So you're hoping he actually opens up his books to you?
Well, no. We want to know if there's buy-in. In other words, this is a check made from our organization. If we pay $10,000, what do we get? Do we get an investigation? That's how silly it is. This is how silly this thing is.
Do you hope he opens up his books to you?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Not only to me, but to the whole county. Should be totally transparent.
He's accountable.
Yeah, he's accountable to us
Certainly
and the
this
board.
entire
Public
trip
official.
should
Oh,
be.
yeah.
This
He won't even
entire,
open the door, much less.
This is not, he thinks this is his kingdom. Well, we're going to say it's not his kingdom.
and this entire trip we should see a line item budget that describes each and every expense.
Every luau.
For example, this is a simple question, right? $3,500 overtime. The guy said, first of all, Sheriff Arpaio, during the investigation, when he was over there, said, this guy's not really doing anything. And then it says that he's providing security. What type of security are you providing when you're going to the Secretary of State's office in the United States? He didn't go to Mexico. He didn't go to Canada. He didn't go to some other third world country. So we're going from one state to another. What's the security risk? Plus, they have, just so you all know, there's police in Hawaii who will be more than happy to provide security. So this is just ridiculous. So as taxpayers, that just moves beyond what we're going to take, right? And so we're just, all right, is he coming out? Oh, no.
It's
Someone grab the door, see if we can go in there. Someone grab the door.
only in third world countries do you buy the investigation.
See if we can pull it.
No, you don't want to do that.
Anyone coming in? No?
We're ready to meet right now. If you'd like to come out, we're all here ready to meet. It'll only take a few minutes.
So we're still waiting. Can someone go buzz that please again? Someone buzz it and see how much longer we gotta wait?
it took a lot of detective work to get to this big one. This should be public information.
All right. Is there no one there now? They just retreated?
No, they seem to have left the post.
Left the post?
Left the building. That was the first.
Can folks start tweeting on this stuff about Sheriff Arpaio refuses to come out? Say, Sheriff Arpaio ducks hard questions.
Maybe he's afraid and can't get a security posse back. No money in the budget.
I can get that. I can get that tweeted, because I was talking to someone.
One of his officers came down the aisle, standing in the row I was in, and he was standing just like this with his hand on his gun. I swear.
I tweeted it. Fire refuses to meet with citizens.
All right, someone over there?
Oh, there's somebody back in the office.
Jenny's on it.
I want to get that sign behind you, Randy.
She has a tweet.
He's downstairs in the lobby, talking on his phone. We did that, his last was almost okay, so I think it looked like it's in.
All right.
Yeah,
Arpaio's unwilling to come out and pick up our petitions.
I'm sorry. Here, let me get out of the way.
Keep putting them in.
How many do we have then?
Over 200 people signed this. All right. Is it with us? No, I guess it's next. Someone get the door, get the door, get the door, get the door. Oh. There's the door. No, not you. You need to have someone over there.
We didn't have someone in the key. That was a mistake.
All right.
Now he'll claim he never received them. They didn't sign for
So
him.
next time the doors open,
Yeah.
Carolyn and maybe Linda too will go in just to represent us. They want to schedule if you want us to be seen.
Probably trying to shove him back
Oh,
now.
how mature! How mature! Oh my God! How mature is that?
You guys saw it. Just to be clear again, one of our members is pushed, they won't come out to get our petitions, one of our members has pushed the petition under the door, and someone on this side started
Has
pushing
their
them back
foot.
out.
Yep.
It's a piece of paper that basically has people's signatures on it saying, we want to do business with you. If it's pay to play, like the Tea Party did, we want to pay, or we do something, here's our signatures, if we want some investigations done too, and they won't even take the paper. We're gonna
That's
keep doing it.
America's toughest sheriff.
Yeah.
I'm behind glass
Hiding
doors.
behind a locked door on your,
You want me to say?
from citizens.
Just take one.
Here's another one.
All right, so Brian's got
That was
door
funny.
covered. It's just, you got something that's going on.
Started coming back.
That is so. Lie down in front of the door, Randy.
This is what we've come to.
How ridiculous is this?
Spinning around the car. No fun.
What are you gonna do? I think I have just a few years, as I get older eventually. I'll just be-
All right, let's keep going. We're gonna wait this thing out.
But they surround.
Just so you know, the next door that opens, you guys, we're gonna go in, all right? The next door that opens, we're gonna go in. Just keep.
Bromley, McIntyre.
Carly McIntyre.
Sheridan.
Sheridan.
Lisa Allen.
Lisa Allen would do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The most dangerous place in Arizona is between the camera and the Jones Island.
So when you went to
No, I
Did they do that?
They want us an alien? Yeah, they put you as an alias in that because of the
You saw the money you guys have, should have one person come out and address the issue, put piece of clarity on the policy.
Okay, one moment.
All right.
Last year during the,
How many senior deputies does it take to meet with a handful of citizens and to strategize about how to meet with a handful of citizens?
You never really have a long discussion.
My goodness, you'd think we were,
They don't care about the rank. I don't care about the rank that goes out.
we're all ladies. Oh my.
They said something about a warning, Randy, is that right? I wonder what comes after that.
Handcuffs.
Pink ones for me, right?
What on earth are they going to want us about? We're just waiting. They told us to wait.
It's all stage management. This is what they do. They have a 10-person PR team to strategize what to do before the cameras, before they come out to meet with a group of citizens who merely have a simple question.
And the check.
And a check for
For
$10,000.
I
Mm-hmm.
think he's having a hard time telling us who to make it out to.
Mm.
Because we only want to give him that check if we get our investigation right. We got to negotiate with investigation together.
Anticipation. He's making me wait, keeping me waiting.
Almost there.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, what is
yeah,
that?
he's there.
Yes, sir. How's it?
I couldn't hear what he said. You always have.
Yeah.
Molly, Arpaio comes out and what's your culture?
What is he about this phone?
I gotta throw him off. Let me see this. I gotta throw him off. He's expecting me. I'll say the first thing you do is pay for investigation. I'm not there about it.
We've been waiting to meet with Sheriff Joe.
Alrighty.
No, they're waiting for you right here.
Here they come, here they come, here they come, yay!
Aw, it's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah. Not this call. He looks bigger on TV.
They're all lined up there, all getting paid to sit there and talk about coming out. Including Sheriff Arpaio.
Well, the first thing they do each day is strategize their press coverage.
He looks all spiffed up and everything.
He's about ready to come out.
He is?
Yeah.
Working up his courage.
Reaching to the choir. I wonder if we can charge it to MCSO.
Should have brought donuts.
We could take up a donation. Pass the hat.
Maybe they'll allow us all to sit down and talk at the table. We'll do that.
That would be nice.
That would be really nice.
We come in peace.
No kidding.
So we're here to talk about it, and Sheriff Arpaio is hiding with his security detail and his chief deputies back there. There's Sheridan, there's Tromby, there's McIntyre. They're all back there huddling and not wanting to come out. Lisa Allen, who says some of the most ridiculous things on thing. Oh, what's wrong with people donating to this? It's because it's a political thing. So we brought a check for $10,000. We're going to see if Sheriff Arpaio will receive that to pay for other investigations. But the last thing he wants is an elected official taking private money to do political investigations. So we're hoping that Sheriff Arpaio will at least have the courage to come out and talk to citizens. He's running for re-election. He should want your vote. We just asked him for simple questions. So they're going to continue to hide behind the door, and I think they'll find this very interesting. But we're going to keep coming back. So we're staying here until at least he comes out, someone comes out to address this issue. We already submitted signatures. Again, America's toughest sheriff. We had to put petitions underneath the door. What's really disgusting here, had we been members of the Tea Party, we'd have been greeted. Had we been members of the Tea Party, we would have took our signatures. Had we been members of a Tea Party, we would have invited us in and helped do this investigation. But we're not. Now, last time I checked in America, you're all supposed to be treated equally when it comes to law enforcement. You should not be able to cherry pick who you're going to support when it comes to investigations based on your political affiliation. So right now, this is kind of a disgraceful time for the sheriff's office. And Sheriff Arpaio, if he believes in what he's doing, he should be able to come out and stand up for that. But I guess his handlers are pulling him back, right? Don't go out there. His handlers are giving him other information. His handlers, who he pays, right, to take care to watch out for him, saying don't go out there. He'll probably do his own press conference when he wants to, right? When he thinks. But this is interesting. Citizens are coming to ask questions, right? And we don't blame him for hiding behind the door because he lost yesterday, right? The Board of Supervisors, who for years he had controlled, denied those donations. Right? So now he's kind of frustrated. So we're waiting to see if he comes out. I don't know. I don't think he's going to come out because I think he just doesn't want to confront it. He's afraid. He's afraid. And so America's toughest sheriff becomes now America's most sued sheriff. America's sheriff in hiding. We have America's sheriff in hiding. You know, he never met a camera he didn't love. There's cameras here to talk to him. He refused to come out. So that's where we're at right now. So we're continuing to wait because we're here. Our business is important. We'll wait to see who they send out. And we'll continue to push a button because what's it say? Hold on. Carolyn, what's it say on the wall?
Sheriff Joe Arpaio welcomes you to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office.
One more time. Sheriff Joe
Arpaio welcomes you to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office.
Okay, so he says he welcomes people, right? We're all dressed decently. We're all here professionally. We're all here to do some business. And Sheriff Arpaio can't even send anyone out.
He doesn't have the courage of his convictions.
Right.
For courtesy.
Right, so this is where we're at right now. We're going to stay here. We're waiting.
Should we order lunch?
We should someone order Domino's. Seriously, someone order pizza. Seriously, they'll deliver the 19th floor. Someone just go to college. We'll do it.
We could offer them
Reg,
some,
order pizza, please.
perhaps, if we offered.
You want to use mine?
Well, what kind of pizza does Sheriff Joe like?
Well, you know, he's already received a cake from us, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the same group that brought him a birthday cake. So he's still kind of like...
Probably plain cheese.
Reg, you want to use this phone?
Yeah.
So I guess maybe when the red button's on, it's filming and then...
Stop.